Hello, callers. Welcome back to Viva Barca, and welcome to another interesting episode where we discuss on some interesting updates. We start with Oscar Hernandez, Xavi's assistant and brother. We are going to discuss on the flawless record that Oscar Hernandez has when Xavi is not on the touchline. He's just so incredible. We are going to discuss on that as we progress. Secondly, talking about Ansu Fati as the Barca prodigy's father have met with super agent Josh Mendes to discuss the future of his son. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into it in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. As Barcelona's 2023-24 La Liga season got off to a rocky start against Getafe in a scrappy game final all filled with drama and arguments, matters went from bad to worse when Xavi Hernandez was sent off for his protest from the touchline. A subsequent two-game ban for the head coach meant assistant manager and trusted brother Oscar Hernandez presided over the dugout in the second game against Cadiz. While usually not at the forefront or not as highly vocal, Oscar always seems like the perfect foil for his brother in the dugout, seemingly acting as a calming presence, but also heavily involved in the technical process as and when needed. Before the clash against Cadiz, many a fan would have braced for another difficult fixture against a team who also like to play with a deep defensive setup and restrict any space for their opponents. On top of that, Barcelona's record against them has not been the best since they were promoted back to the top flight and has only just started improving. For large parts of the game, it was a tough ask for the Catalans to find space and generate big attacking threats. But the side showed good patience and eventually came away with an assured 2-0 win. You know, and this means Oscar Hernandez has set some very impressive precedents whenever he has been deputizing for his brother Xavi Hernandez. So the Cadiz game was the third time Oscar has had to step into the dugout in place of Xavi. While the first game was a resounding 6-0 win, it was merely a pre-season fixture against Inter Miami, now the home of Barcelona legend Leo Messi. When Xavi, could not travel to the USA due to visa issues. The next time Oscar would take charge was when Xavi was forced to sit out Barcelona's game against Valencia in La Liga last season after he accumulated 5 yellow cards, leading to a one-game suspension. In another very tense and scrappy game, the Blaugrana picked up a 1-0 win despite being a man down for most of the second half. In the two official games, the Catalans have thus scored thrice and conceded none, both leading to victories. Naturally, Xavi is involved behind the scenes, but managing the game in real time is still a big ask, and his brother has risen to the occasion adeptly so far. Oscar Hernandez now has a chance to extend that record against Villarreal on Sunday when he faces the Yellow Submarine, led by former Barcelona boss Quique Setien, on their turf. Why fans will not want Xavi to miss out any more action after losing his temper against Getafe, they can probably rest assured that Oscar is capable of taking his instructions on board and implementing them as well. Runs in the family, eh? Yeah, so I think for those who have not taken note, whenever Oscar Hernandez is on that touchline, Barca have not lost a match, neither have they even drawn a match. We have won all the three games that Oscar Hernandez have been in charge on the touchline, which is great. It's a great record, flawless record. conceding none, scoring about nine. If we're counting the friendly game against Inter Miami I think last season. So yeah, Xavi Hernandez will not be at the game against Villarreal, but against Osasuna at home, he will return before the international break. We saw Xavi losing his temper with the partiality we saw against Getafe in the first match day of the season, and which I hope that Xavi will try to control himself, because I think Xavi is that kind of a person that when things are not moving, Xavi just escalates. And I've seen it many a times when Xavi has been warned by match officials, and of course he needs to be careful. His presence on the touchline is important. I understand that yes, his brother Oscar Hernandez has a good record whenever he's there, but technically, Oscar Hernandez received all the tactical, everything from Xavi, who is still the coach, who will go and sit on the stands watching the game. He always sends all the instructions on phone and messages to Oscar Hernandez to implement on the pitch. You know, so let's just see how it goes. A great record for Oscar Hernandez, his brother. But of course, Xavi Hernandez should try to cool his temper. He will not be there against Villarreal, but we hope that we can go for that next game with some confidence after the 2-0 win against Cadiz. Hope that we can win the game comfortably. Of course, we know that Villarreal is no small team, but let's hope that we can be more convincing, because so far our performance have not been the best. Then on to the final story of discussion, with speculations about the future of Ansu Fati refusing to go away. The Barcelona prodigy's father, Bori Fati, met with his agent George Mendes today. According to reports from Helena Condis of COPE, Fati has had a very, a rough past year or so, with game time proving hard to come by under Xavi Hernandez. Despite impressing in preseason, it appears that the 20-year-old has fallen down the pecking order, with Xavi seemingly preferring the likes of Abde Azazuli and Lamine Yamal ahead of him in the first two games of the season. As such, it has given ways to rumors about his future, with clubs in the Premier League in particular sniffing around the situation. Despite having seen his stature and importance in the team take a hit, Ansu has no desire to leave Barcelona this summer. The 20-year-old has offers on the table from the Premier League, but he remains insistent on staying put at his boyhood club. It was suggested that super agent George Mendes would be flying to Barca this week to discuss Fati's future, among several other topics. However, as things stand, it is a young star's father who has flown to Portugal to hold a meeting with the representative to discuss on Ansu Fati's future. It must be remembered that Bori Fati had previously been critical about Xavi's handling of Ansu's situation, and had even admitted that an exit for his son would be a good option. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.